You also said only men should make decisions for the family, however, in the best interest of his wife and kids and not himself.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
I think that the nuclear family structure is the strongest backbone of a society.
Mm-hmm.
And the man is supposed to be a provider and a protector, so it's like right that he makes a decision for his family.
What about in same-sex couple households?
I don't believe in gay marriage.
You have a reaction to that? Go ahead.
Based. Well, I'm sorry. That was
Go
a lot.
ahead. Go ahead. Here, can you scoot your chair into the table?
Yeah. Every time I talk, I come closer. She's.
Yeah, but you just strain your mic too, please. It's like pointing at the moon. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. That was a very natural reaction of mine to I don't believe in gay marriages. It just cancels the love of some people, and there would be no other love for those. And it's just not the statement that I would ever make out loud, or in my head as well. But I mean, it has. And it's not because it has something to do with me, even though I did experience the same-sex relationship and it wasn't for me. It's just, as soon as I heard it, I was very uncomfortable thinking about the people who are happy in this relationship and that will stay together till the end of their lives.
Yeah, I mean, she said marriage, not love, though.
Yes.
So.
Okay, marriage.
But marriage is like love, is a sign of love.
So.
Do you need is the state required to be married?
Or like a ceremony.
Yeah.
Do you need the state to be married?
Wait, I have a question for you.
Is the state required to be married? Do you need the state to be married?
No.
Well, if you don't need the state to be married, then I don't understand why gay people couldn't get married, even if the state didn't recognize a marriage. I don't get that.
You would need the state to recognize your marriage.
You don't need the state to
for a legal
recognize it.
marriage.
Why?
You don't need to have a legal marriage. You can
Yeah,
have
you
a
don't.
commitment ceremony. You can have a marriage in church. So,
Yeah.
and to be fair,
If we
she
have
did say
established that
love.
the
She's
state
not
doesn't
saying
need
that
to be
any
involved in-
relationship.
Yeah.
You know?
Usually.
So then you're just calling it marriage without the sacrament or the certificate. You're just calling it marriage.
Well, the sacrament is religious, and as you know, might note, the religious sacrament of marriage excludes what particular group?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, necessarily. None of the
I'm a Catholic,
religions that
that's
have
not
it as
true.
a sacrament.
That's
a
not true.
sacrament.
Wait, you're a Catholic?
name
and-
one.
Yes,
Name
I'm a
one.
Catholic, and that's
You're-
not true.
Wait, what's not
Yeah,
true?
it is true in the Catholic Church. Official Catholic doctrine is that LGBTQ marriage is not allowed. That's
I
the
said
official
I'm a Catholic,
doctrine.
but did I say that that's the all Christian doctrine? No,
Yeah,
I just
but
said I
that's
personally am a Catholic, so I'm familiar
Then-
with how Christians.
Are you aware of sacraments then? That Christians have sacraments? She said a sacrament. Marriage is a sacrament to the Catholic Church. It's a sacrament to the Orthodox Church. The churches which will marry LGBTQ people don't see marriage as a sacrament. They don't do sacramental marriage.
Okay.
Set up the split.
So I'd like to note, right, you do recognize that the church excludes this group from marriage. You recognize that that's true, right?
I'm not. I guess they as a sacrament, but I do know that there are churches that will marry gay couples.
Yeah, but
Maybe
you
perhaps
would you-
not called a sacrament.
Yeah, you would agree with me.
To me, the
that
word
any-
I didn't know sacrament is specific to.
Well, you take communion, right? In the
Yeah.
Catholic Church.
Yes.
What is that?
I understand that that's a sacrament, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's a
I
sacrament.
thought sacrament was like a holy practice. I thought that could be applicable to any church.
You
Excuse
can call
me.
it a sacrament, I guess, but what makes it that? So this is where the argument goes, right? Would you agree with me that somebody could worship Satan but ID themselves as a Christian? They could self-ID that way. They could say, I'm a Christian,
Well, you could
even though they
self-ID
worship
yourself as
Satan.
whatever you want, but that doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So you can self-ID as whatever you want, but it doesn't make you that thing. So we have to have specific criteria for what makes you that thing. So the Catholics are going to believe that they are the true church. The Orthodox believe that they are the true church, right?
Yeah.
So they're excluding these groups as being Christians based around self-ID. And I think that that's totally reasonable, but they definitely exclude LGBTQ from marriage.
Okay.
So you think gay people should date or shouldn't date?
They could if they want to, but I mean, I'm just saying that gay marriage isn't a thing because marriage has an objective definition.
What?
Bring it back to the original thing, though.
What original thing?
That with the husbands, but it should be
That the man should be making those decisions.
Oh.
man should be making decisions, but for the benefit of the
Family.
wife and children, not him.
Well, yeah, I said that because when people say only, like, when the trad guys say, like, oh, I only get to make decisions in my family, it sounds kind of like dictator vibes, you know, but that's not what really is about, you know.
Andrew,
What's it about?
It's not about being kind of like prideful and arrogant and making decisions because like you're the only smart one in the household or you're the only competent one. You just make decisions in the best interest of your family.
Yeah, but who gets to determine what's in the best interest of your family?
The guy.
Okay, so then I don't really understand the circular logic here. How could he be doing anything which is prideful or et cetera, unless you are the one who's telling him that if he's the one in charge of the family?
No, I'm saying like other kind of like left-leaning people kind of hear it that way when trad guys claim that.
Well, I disagree with your assessment, and forgive me. I'll steel man it first to make sure that I have it correct, so that I'm not mischaracterizing your position. But I believe that your position here is to say that a man is a sacrifice for his family. Because of that, he is the leader of the family, but that's due to the self-sacrifice for the family, not that he's the leader and he should be leading for himself. He should only be leading for the family, right?
What do you mean leading for himself?
Well, that's what I don't understand. What is the man in the relationship here? He's the leader.
The leader.
But you say his criteria for leadership is self-sacrifice.
Part of it, yes.
Okay. So I don't understand that part
Well,
of the position.
I think God just gave men the role of leadership. Women
Okay, so
make
it's not for
sacrifices
the purpose
within
of
their.
self-sacrifice?
They have to sacrifice.
Yeah, they have to sacrifice, right? But
Yeah.
they have to take care of themselves first, right? Because otherwise, how could they sacrifice to anybody else? So, like, how can a man, for instance, take care of his family if he's not also putting his own needs and welfare to the forefront as well? How could they even do that?
What's an example of like putting
Work.
himself first?
Work. So let's take, for instance, work is sacrificial, right? But he's gonna need to have plenty of R&R time, plenty of relaxed time. He's gonna have to be taking care of himself as well. And part of the obligation, duty of leadership is also putting your needs. I think that you have it backwards. I think a man actually does have to put his needs first in order to make those sacrifices for his family.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's like in the long term, it's beneficial for his family.
Right, exactly. So,
Yeah.
so ultimately, I think that the man does need to have his needs come up first and foremost. Otherwise, he can't take care of anybody else. How could he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all. I was just clarifying the position. So I think the left has it right when they characterize the right and conservatives as saying, well, wait a second, you just think that this man's a meanie head dictator who's putting himself first. Well, in many ways, yes, he is putting himself first, because otherwise how can he sacrifice for you, right? How could he do it, right? If he's not healthy, he's not available to sacrifice, right?
Yeah.